Now, I'm sure at this point you're probably asking, can I use my calculator if I'm given two equations in order to find the system of equations? And the answer to that is yes. So if you have a graphing calculator, please take it out now. Notice the example here, y equals 4x plus 1, y equals x plus 4. If you recall, we've already answered this problem. This was the first equation we solved with substitution. Y equals 4x plus 1 and y equals x plus 4. And we found that the solution to this system is at the point 1, 5. So if we look at our graphing calculator, and unfortunately I do not have a TI calculator on me, but if you notice I have these two functions graphed on my iPad. And when you look here, the system of these two lines is where they meet. And they're meeting at the ordered pair 1, 5. And that is the solution to the system of equation, their intersection point, where the input and the output of the two equations are the exact same. When I input the value of 1, my output is 5 in both equations. When I plug into the first equation, when I substitute a 1 for x, I get 4 times 1 plus 1, which is 5. And in the second equation, when I plug in 1, I get 1 plus 4, which is 5. So once again, the solution to the system of equations is when the input and the output are the same, when the x and the y values of the equation are equal. Okay, so let's go through the steps of how you would do this on your TI graphing calculator. First of all, you need to press the y equals button. Go to the y equals button on the top left of your calculator. In y1, you're going to type in the first equation. In y2, you're going to enter the second equation. Next, press graph. And then next you're going to press zoom and then the number 0. Press zoom 0. And that's going to focus your graph on the intersection of the two equations. So again, step 2, press the graph button. That's at the top of your calculator. Then press the zoom button. Again, that's on the top of your calculator. And then press 0. So you should be looking at the intersection, but you might not be able to tell exactly what that point is. So let's go to step 3. Next, you can press the second button. That's your control button. It's either yellow or blue. And then press trace. This is the calculating function. Okay, so you're going to do second trace, and number 5 is intersect. And then the calculator is calibrated. It wants to make sure it knows what lines you're talking about. Because if you notice in your y equals, you could put a lot of different lines and functions into your calculator. So it's asking you which two lines do you want to focus on. So this step here, enter, 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 is just to tell your calculator I'm focusing on my y1 equation, my y2 equation, and that's it. So that's why you have to press enter, enter, enter. And once you've followed step 1, step 2, step 3, your calculator, now I believe it's at the bottom of the screen, should be telling you what that intersection is, which we already know is at the point 1, 5. I want you to try a few trying to use your calculator. So please try these next 2. And I'll do the same and show you the answers in just a moment.